Hello, everybody. This is Bob Anderson, and today is September 6th, 2023. And I am going to do a quick update on the indicator, how it seems to be working, what some of the results have been recently. Now that I've got it all modified, a few things that the coder told me, and just and then and let me add this last piece. I, as of Friday, felt comfortable enough with it that when Tuesday came along after I came back from my Labor Day weekend, hey, see my tan? I was at the beach. Anyways, I started using live accounts. So on Tuesday, because only fools took trades on Monday. Don't tell me any of you were fools. On Tuesday, I linked 5 accounts together. YM rolled down, did a 1 minute gold line right in line with a retest of the overnight open. Wham, $400, shut it down. Turned around, switched everything, all 4 screens to sim mode. Those 4 screens would be the NQ, the YM, the RTY, the CL. I will post in the video below where I had my settings to kind of just tell you where these numbers come from. And then today, Tuesday, same thing. I'm sitting there waiting for the equity markets to break out and start trading them, to at least try to make some money today with my 5 accounts linked together, trade copier. And so I have the equity market starting at 9:45. I have oil starting at 9:30 because, again, oil opens earlier too. So while I'm sitting here waiting for the equity markets, bam, bam, oil sets up with a beautiful 5-minute gold line trade. I hit that thing. The indicator had measured for me, took all the thought out, measured for me the distance from where the entry is to the overnight open, that I had enough room, took the trade, bam, bam, $400, shut it down. I'm done again. Rotated everything to sim mode, let it run the rest of the day in sim mode. So what's the point of me telling you this? Well, I went live with this, so I'm starting to feel comfortable enough that it's working the way I want it to work, so that it's almost available. It's almost ready for release. Number one. Number two, it why did I shut it down? Some of you may say, well, first of all, I work. I have 5 houses coming out of the factory this month alone. 5 houses. I mean, I don't think anybody has any idea how much work that is. But anyways, so I went to work, but with 5 accounts, $400, that's $2,000. Yesterday, 5 accounts, $400, that's $2,000. Today, okay. Now, what do I really gain from going through all the pain and the agony of doing this? Well, it has changed how I think. That YM trade, for example, that I took yesterday, I never would have saw it if I didn't have the indicator over here screaming at me to look at it. Did it mean I had to take it? No. But when it was screaming at me and I'm looking at it, I then was able to decipher real quick. We had a big push through the overnight open. We ran back up into the overnight open. The 1-minute gold line caught up to the trend. It had a nice smooth pullback break. Bam, boom, done. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Boom. So it emphasized that to me when I never would have even seen it, because I probably would have been too focused on oil or too focused on the RTY. That is one of the main things I've noticed about having this this thing working for me. It removes certain things that I would have to continue to track in my mind with multiple instruments. Like I'd have to, if I happen to even see the 1-minute gold line setting up in a YM, I got to look now and see, is it the third touch? Is it the first touch? What is it? Where's the pivot high? Is it a recent low? All that. I got to do all that thinking. It did all that thinking for me. So all I had to do was go to a higher level of my thinking now that I see the trade. Anyways, so what I want to do is I want to show you yesterday's trade in the YM and the results for just yesterday, today. And then the same thing with the NQ, the same thing with the RTY, and the same thing with oil. When I get to oil, I'll show you the trade that I took yesterday. Quick little note, I want to make this quick. Bob, the coder, when I told him what I told him on Friday, he took the system and he started doing some back testing while I was on the beach drinking margaritas. And he said to me, do you have any idea how much money oil made on this indicator on the 5-minute red line? And I remember I said to him, I said, I can tell you one thing, it's more money than it made in the 5-minute gold line or the 1-minute gold line, since oil has had no follow through for 20 ticks on either one of those in the whole month of August. And he says, yeah, it was. I think he told me for August it was $3,000 after commissions, $3,740 per contract. 5-minute gold line. 5-minute red line trades. 5-minute red line trades. $3,740. Now I'm going to show you today what, for example, what the NQ did with 2 contracts in just 2 days. It's amazing. Anyways, so here we go. All right, so here we are with the YM. The YM today finished with 3 trades, and it lost $100. So what did it? Okay, so here's a 5-minute red line. It didn't work. It squeezed the trade, lost $100, lost $300 on that trade. So out of the gate. Oh, this was 2 days ago. This is the trade I took. Okay, this is 2 days ago. This was Tuesday. Here's the trade I took when this thing was screaming at me for my $400. Sorry about this. I didn't realize where I was opening the YM. So this is Tuesday, the 5th. All right. We slammed down, created a new low, new recent 60-minute low right here on the other side of the overnight open. This thing was coming back. These pink candles are screaming at you. Trade, 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 trade. It's like, battleship. And so I was able to look. I was able to look over and look at it. Here's your entry. Then when that candle closed, here's your entry. When that candle closed, and then bam, bam. By the way, my favorite trade. I get into it, and I go to break even, all in the same candle. Look at that. Shoot. All right. So I'm in here, I'm out here, and I made $400. And that was my live accounts, five accounts, shut it off, turned it into sim mode. And then we had a second attempt here. But, okay, remember I talked about this. So what is the system doing? The system is measuring the distance from that gold line. This right here is telling you from this gold line, not from the top of the candle, but from this gold line to the bottom of this candle is 23.6 ticks. So what does that tell you? If this thing comes down and breaks that, you're taking a trade minimum 25 ticks from the area that is pushing price. And that's borderline taking a trade in limbo when you're trying to get another 20 ticks out of it. Okay? So that's why this candle's black, to keep you out of it. So did it work? Well, this didn't get close enough either. That's why this stayed pink. And there were no dots. There was no diamonds underneath it. When that diamond hits underneath it, that means there's your entry. So when this came down, look it. And then it rolled up. So it kept you out of a bad trade. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. So anyways, then you go over here and you roll down and you got another 1-minute gold line. It got stopped out. Boom, boom. You lost $200. And then now here's the thing. This is where you can spend time looking at important things because the indicator is telling you about the trades. What's important here? Well, what's important here is that first thing in the morning, price runs down to the overnight open, runs through it, and then goes back to it. When it goes back to it, it isn't going anywhere. This is equilibrium. Look at price for the next 2 hours. There's no trades there. Now, the system is trying to find trades for you. Now, but I wouldn't be taking these trades. I would be just like, no, until we get away from the overnight open where we picked a direction and we're going somewhere. Well, this was not one of those days. But I left the system alone, and its results were it lost, I think, $100. I think it lost $100. Yep, it lost $100. So it lost $100 on Tuesday. So let's go to today. Today it lost $220. So it had a 5-minute, where is this? It had a 5-minute red line trade right here. Didn't work. And that lost $160. And then it had, let me see here. There's so much going on in here. Let's see here. Where's the other trade? Oh, here's another 5-minute red line trade. So I had 2 5-minute red line trades in a row that didn't work. One lost 160, one lost 60. So we lost $220. So in 2 days, if you just let the YM alone, you would have lost, I don't know, maybe $280. So, okay. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? So let's go over to the NQ. The NQ on Tuesday was right here. And again, candle's too big, keeps you out of a bad trade on a 1-minute gold line. Let's see here. We ended up having, let me see here. It's telling you about, okay, here's a trade. So it fired off a trade right here, took a short, it went down a few ticks, rolled up, knocked you out $250. Remember, I'm using 2 contracts on the NQ. 2 contracts on the NQ. Did the same thing here. Bam. Now, see, we're just sitting in this. Again, what's the key here, folks? Again, should you be taking these trades? Let me tell you about this. Where's the overnight open? Here's the overnight open. I mean, this is not. Anyways, here's the overnight open. So what are we doing? We're hanging out at the overnight open again. If price is hanging out at the overnight open, there gonna be no trades. You gotta have a thrust away from the overnight open, and then later in the day have price roll back to the overnight open. That's when you're in a market that you can trade. When price is at the overnight open in the morning, just turn it off. But anyways, or wait for it to pick a direction. So here's lunchtime, so it's closed. And I think it ended up squeezing out a trade here in the afternoon. Let's see here. It tried to take a trade here, but then this candle opened up below the red line, so it canceled it. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. So it rolled. Here we're below the 5-minute red line. Here's the 5-minute red line. We crossed it. We crossed the 5-minute red line to the high side, rolled over, boom, took a long there. It rolled up. Now remember, in the NQ, I'm looking for like 75 ticks. So this thing rolled up, bam, we got knocked out, lost $20. $20. Okay. Lost $20 in the same candle. It ended up triggering another trade, which then we entered right here. And it ran all the way to here, $750. So it ended up $230 for Tuesday. Now remember, this is the day after Labor Day. Okay? So, all right. So between the two, you're break even if you just let it go. All right. So let's go to today. Now we're 2 days away from. Now you're 2 days away from Labor Day. Okay. And I project as we get further and further away from Labor Day, pricing is going to get better. Movement's going to get better. Okay. So here we are with NQ today. So today it took 5 trades. Out of the gate, it did a new low. See, it created a new recent low, rolled up in the 1 minute gold line. This is test 1. Break, down, up. It squeezed the stop. You lost 150 bucks. Lost 150 bucks. First trade, boom, 150 bucks in the hole. It rolls up, rolls down, creates another new low. And you had a reset because these candles opened above that 21 SMA. So now it's going to recount. You get up, this candle's too big. This candle, now here's, okay, this is important. Jesus, I love this. Okay, see, when I say it's measuring from the bottom of the candle to the gold line, the trigger line, whatever that may be, the 5 minute red line, the 5 minute gold line, or the 1 minute gold line. In this case, the 1 minute gold line. So it's saying it's 37 ticks. If you entered off of this candle, you're 37 ticks away. So it means that you're going to get in at 38, 39, 40 ticks away from that gold line. The further away from that gold line you are, the further you're away from the wave that pushes you in the direction you're trying to go. Okay? So when this candle opens up, and its bottom is just below that gold line. Oh my. And it stayed consistent with the smooth pullback. Bam, there's your entry. You're out in the same candle. $300. Roll down, create a new low. Here's touch 2. Same thing. Big black candle. All of a sudden turns into a pink candle with a diamond because the candle compressed into the gold line. Bam, bam, out in the same candle. Another $300. I'm starting to like that. So those are 2 back-to-back, test 1, test 2, 1 minute gold line trades in the NQ that just went bang, bang in 1 minute. So then you get up here and you test this 5 minute red line. Now look at the 5 minute red line, stair-stepping its way down to price, stair-stepping its way down to price. All of a sudden it hits price right here on this candle. It triggers that we have our first 5 minute red line trade setting up. Then this candle consolidated even closer. And then bam, here's your entry. And bam, there's your target. Oh my God. Did I say 75 ticks? That's interesting because I think that went about 80. 750 bucks. Rolls back up. Now you're into lunchtime. By the way, the second touch of the 5 minute red line, the second touch, that trade worked too. Bam, there's your entry. There's your 75 ticks. If you traded in the lunch period, I have it shut off at lunch, so it's not doing that. But that's another $750 trade right there for touch 2. Anyways, so let's see what happens over here. So then it sets up. See, here's touch 3. So here's touch 3 right here on your chart. Touch 3. It's tracking that for you. I showed you touch 1. I showed you touch 2. It's telling you this is touch 3. It kept you out of taking this trade, which would have been a loser. Okay? So it kept you out of that trade. I think it took another trade, did it not? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so then it slowly melted its way to its first touch. It tried to touch the 5 minute red line here, but it didn't. Then it finally did here. Bam, there's your entry. Bam, there's your target, 750 bucks. So now that the market's starting to get a little mushy and get moving, NQ 2 contracts, 1,950 bucks. 1,950 bucks. 1,950 bucks. All right. So RTY, 280 bucks. It had 2 trades today. One win for $400, one loss for $120. The one loss, ironically, was the crossover 5 minute red line. But the trade actually worked. I squeezed the stop in my auto thing. I squeezed the stop, got knocked out, but the trade actually worked. I mean, the trade still worked. That pattern, that setup, that crossover retest in the direction that the market is, man, I'm telling you, write that one down. You can take that one as your lesson, and don't even turn my channel on again. Just take that trade, do it. All right, and then so here's its 400. This $400 win was a 1 minute gold line trade. It took at 10:47 in the morning. Let's see here, and then yesterday, I don't know if it made any money yesterday. Let me check. I got to get quickly looking at this. It lost $120 yesterday, and it made $280 today, so it's up a little bit. Okay, and then the last one is oil, which oil took 4 trades today, $700. The last one, shocker, shocker, is a crossover retest of the 5-minute red line, long, bam, $700. I mean, these things just repeat themselves. Have you seen this movie before? See this crossover through the red? See this crossover in mid-morning, like 11 o'clock, back through here, long? See that? You see that? Okay, let's just for shits and giggles, just for something to do, just because we're bored, let's see if that happened any other time recently. How about exactly the same time on Tuesday? You rolled into your red area. Notice this, our system's keeping you out of the trades. Crossed over, back tested the red line, bam. Right there, $700. It was the only trade it took yesterday. So oil made $700 yesterday, and oil made $700 today. 2 contracts. Okay. Today it did it in 4 trades. Yesterday it did it in 1. But I want to show you something interesting. The entry on that thing was 87.04. It went to 88.07. That's weird. A whole dollar. And here's what this pattern is, so you guys know it. It's a run up. If oil runs up or runs down, I don't care which one it does. When it melts its way through across your 5-minute red line in your mid-morning, like your 10, 11 o'clock lull, and it crosses back over your red line, take your mortgage, take your car payment, take what you got, throw it on that trade and watch it run. 2 days in a row, it did the same thing. Now, let me give you a quick story before I end this video. I explained that to the coder, Bob, who is trying to learn how to trade this system while he's coding it. I explained this trade to him late last week. So Tuesday comes along, and it literally does exactly what I told him it would do. And the system's screaming at him to take the trade here, and he chickened out. Okay? So later on Tuesday, he and I are talking to each other, and he tells me that story, and I'm like, oh, Bob, listen, if you can't take the laydown trades, you can't take any trades. So fast forward to today, the same thing happened. And Bob set the indicator on to trade only the 5-minute red line in oil. Because I told him, I said, if you need to make money, that's the trade you need to take. And you need to wait for that crossover pullback. That crossover pullback hit today. Boom, off it went. He called me ecstatic. He made $1,100 on the one and only trade he took today. Anyways, I thought I would give you guys a little update on that. I don't even know what these totals are. Oil was like, let's just do it off our head. Oil was like $1,400. NQ was probably about $2,300. RTY was probably up 150 maybe, and I think YM was down like 250. Okay, that's 2 days. That's 2 days. 2 days. 2 contracts in oil, 4 contracts in the RTY to equate to oil, 4 contracts in the YM to equate to oil, and I'm only trading 2 contracts in the NQ because I'm too afraid. Because I'm too afraid to trade 4. But just imagine if I had traded 4. It made $2,200 in 2 days. Anyways, everybody have a good day. I am going to have this thing ready soon. Okay, it's going to come in 2 versions. It's going to come as an indicator and it's going to come as an Autobot. I do know that. They're going to have 2 different price points. I don't exactly know what those price points are, but it's going to make at least the indicator available in people's budgets. Okay, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.